Hello, and welcome to another episode of Unmute, the well-being podcast brought to you by WeCare. All episodes streamed on Spotify and internally via Core and Concentrix University for our game changers.
Hello and greetings from Global Wellbeing. I'm here to talk about and demonstrate some self-care for the neck and cervical spine. As you all know, all of us with a 9-to-5 job tend to put a lot of stress on a cervical spine area unconsciously, predominantly just because of bad posture. Let me demonstrate how a 3.5 kg head can become a 19 kg head quickly in seconds. This is the neutral position of our necks, right? Let's say we are working in front of the computer. We are moving our head 1 inch forward. This tends to happen. But what happens when we are moving it 1 inch forward? It is going to put an additional weight of 4.5 kgs on the cervical spine. 1 more inch, another additional 4.5 kgs. 1 more when you're going to bend this like this, 1 more, another additional. So this is usually our usual work position during work hours because this unconsciously happens while we are very immersed into work. Now what happens? Right now my cervical spine has a burden of 19 kgs almost, and it is not its capacity. We do not want that. So what happens now? The musculoskeletal system starts to compensate. It starts to compensate the weight of our head right now with the upper back muscles and also the arm muscles. That's why when we usually get a cervical spine pain, it radiates towards our shoulders, our upper back, and sometimes also arms, because everything is overcompensating for all the weight that you're putting because of our bad posture. Now let's work on reconditioning this. Now we are going to try to activate the muscles at the sides of our necks. For this, we first have to be in a neutral position. Slightly tilt your head to the left and place your palm on the side of your face and try to push the palm against the head and head against the palm. Remember not to use too much of force because it's not good for the neck. So tilt and push against each other. Stay for 10 seconds and come back to neutral. Let's repeat it on the right side. Tilt your head to the right. Place your hand, palm, fingers on your face. Push it slightly. You should feel the extension. You should feel the muscles at the side of your neck. Come back to neutral. So this lateral extension usually helps with the stiffness that forms around the neck. It also helps in improving flexibility and also relaxing the side muscles of the neck. Now, let's try to recondition our extensor muscles, which is at the back of our neck. This is where we have our extensor muscles and we stress it out by the forward posture again and again. Now, we are going to recondition these extensor muscles by doing something called a neck extension. For the neck extension, we sit with our backs straight and we try to look upward without bending the neck or arching the back. So we try to hinge at the upper back technically. So like so. Neutral. Hold it for 5. Usually the two mistakes are hinging at the neck and at the arch, which we are supposed to avoid. I'm going to show you the wrong posture. This is the wrong posture and this is the wrong posture. Make sure our back is straight and we are trying to hinge here. Hold for 5 seconds. Come back. So now those with very bad upper back pain, when you do these exercises, when you come back to the neutral position, you will feel a light radiation of pain to your chest because that shows that you have impacted all the muscles around that particular area. So What happens when we do this? It helps recondition our extensor muscles, strengthen it, and also help with the upper cervical alignment. So what happens if it gets worse? It tends to radiate to the head also sometimes. Sometimes we start feeling pain here and pain inside of the head from here because there's a lot of stress at that point also. So again, posture is very important. And let's move on to the next reconditioning exercise. The first posture to recondition is the forward head posture, which is very prevalent among us working a 9-to-5 job, working in front of the laptop for a long time. This is the forward head posture. So what we have to do is counteract it. How do we do it? We do it by doing something called a neck glide. Stay in a neutral position. Bring your chin slowly forward to create a double chin effect. Hold for 5 seconds and then come back to neutral. This, you should repeat it 10 times. Why do we do this? In order to strengthen the cervical flexors and also help with the better alignment of the head and the neck. Now, let us try to improve and enhance the range of motion and flexibility of the cervical spine. This is very simple. We're going to do something called a neck rotation. We stay in the neutral position and turn slowly towards the left. Breathe in, breathe out, hold for 10. Come back to the neutral. Breathe in to the right. Hold for 10 seconds and come back to the neutral. Now, for those with acute chronic excruciating pain here, for a little bit of relief, you can breathe out through your teeth. Let me show you how. Breathe in. Make sure you do the sound because it's actually the air pressurizing against our teeth and relaxing the muscles behind. Do the same left and right. Breathe in. Like I said, the sound is important because it is going to put a little pressure to relax the muscles behind your back, around your shoulders like this. Now let's try to promote stability and functional strength of the cervical spine. For this, we are going to do something called resistance presses. We have a forward flexion and a backward extension. So the goal is to strengthen the neck muscles through controlled exertion, promoting both stability and of course functional strength of the cervical spine. For this, we are going to do two. The first one is going to be a flexion, the other one is going to be an extension. For flexion, we have to place our hand on the forehead and push against it for 5 seconds. Come back to neutral. So what happens when you're going to press your hand against your forehead this way? It is going to do a forward flexion here. And then the next one is an extension where you place your hand at the back of your head and push back your head. Push back your head for 5 seconds. Place it at the back of your head and push it back. Neutral position. Remember not to force yourself. Just hold it, gently push it back and come back to the neutral. You should be able to feel a little stretch here. Now let us activate the trapezius muscles. It's basically the muscles that run here. Here's where we have the trapezius muscles. We are going to relax the stiffness by doing something called shoulder shrugs. This is also pretty simple. We have to look straight ahead and then bring our shoulders towards the ears. Hold for 5 seconds. Relax and lower. Look straight ahead. Lift your shoulders towards your ears. Hold for 5 seconds and bring it back. You should be able to feel your trapezius muscles. Repeat this for 10 times. So this is called the shoulder shrug, and it activates the trapezius muscles, relieving tension in the neck and shoulders, and also it enhances the overall muscle tone behind. Now let's try to alleviate the soreness that is usually coming along with a very poor posture. For this, we are going to do something called a tilted forward flexion. Let's start in neutral, and now we have to lower the chin towards the neck. Mind it that this is not like the neck glide. The neck glide is putting your chin forward like this, but here you lower the chin towards your chest. So you feel an extension, you feel a stress here. So this is in order to stretch the muscles at the back of the neck and also promote relaxation. So this will help us in alleviating the soreness associated with all the poor posture we do all day.
Join us again next week for another episode where we unmute the conversation around mental health.